Today we're going to go through paper samples that you can get from wholesale vendors and what you should be doing with them and why you need them. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help creative entrepreneurs create pretty pages using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do product reviews on Saturdays. Now, if you are someone who wants to create physical paper products, whether that is planners, notebooks, card decks, wedding invitations, do wedding envelope calligraphy, then you're gonna have to be a little savvy about paper. And not just paper in general, having to know fibers and the wood grain. I'm talking more about something specific to what you're offering. So the first one that we're gonna talk about is card decks. So card decks are pretty much, I don't want to say all the same. There's not a lot of variation out there. So that's pretty easy. You're going to find that a lot of people will let you order a paper sample. So within this paper sample, what you're going to do once you get it in the mail, and usually they're free, sometimes you might have to pay for shipping, you're going to choose 1 to 2 types of paper and printing. So like this one has linen, it has UV gloss, it has semi-gloss, it has a matte, and you're going to try to decide which ones, like I would just narrow it down to 2, maybe 3 that you think will look good with your design and also the kind of cards you would like to offer. Then you will take your design, upload it, and order a couple different card decks. Now, sometimes they have a minimum order of say 50 or 100, and that's okay. You'll just have cards for later on that either 1 are so great, that's going to be your future inventory, or 2, you can send them out to influencers, ask them to do unboxings. You can send them to different online businesses to offer as giveaways or part of their swag bags if they're hosting an event. I know it's a little tough right now. I don't know if a lot of people are hosting in-person events, but some people are still sending out swag bags for virtual events. And that's how you are going to choose the type of paper for your card deck. Now, I think there are many different types of cards out there, so don't worry. I know everyone's like, well, what should I use? You should use the one that you like. There is an infinite number of possibilities on the types of cards that are out there that people like. Now, if you ask me what I personally prefer, I prefer the UV coated cards. I think the color looks more vibrant, and I like the glossy kind of feel to it without having a semi-gloss on it. And that's my personal preference. Now, when you talk about wedding invitations, I think pretty much the gold standard is Princewell. However, there are many different wholesale vendors out there. This is just the one that I use and the one that I prefer. And you do have to sign up to be a wholesaler with them first, I believe, or a designer. I don't know. It's been so long. And they just check, I think, your website or to make sure you're legit. And then they will send you a pack of paper samples. Now, when you get wedding invitations, and I have a whole course on this, I'll leave a link to that below, but when you do wedding invitations, it's really important, in my opinion, to not be everything to everyone. And it's not just because this is good business advice, it's because you're going to go crazy trying to figure out all the different paper options and vellum versus wraps versus somebody who wants something more eclectic or funky or kind of grungy, right? So if you can just stay within, say, I want to do luxurious wedding invitations and I only use paper from I don't even know, somebody big. And so that's kind of your thing. Like I only do gold foil or I only do letterpress, right? I have a Heidelberg printer sitting right here in my garage. So if you can niche yourself down, 1, it's going to be much easier to sell when you're talking to the bride. And 2, it's going to be a much easier pricing conversation when you talk to the bride, because their eyes are just going to glaze over if you're like, well, if you switch to vellum, you could do this. Or if you switched over to laser printing, you can do this. They don't care. Nobody is getting married so that they can become a wedding invitation expert. They're just getting married so that they can have the wedding of their dreams. And their dreams could be on a cruise boat. And they want a bunch of cool, I don't even know, what are those things? Anchors all over their wedding invitation, and they think that's going to be pretty. Or maybe they want something at the Ritz-Carlton or the Plaza in New York, and they need to be very high-end luxury. And so they're coming to you for a solution. So that's always the best bet when it comes to wedding invitations, is to niche down. And you really can't niche down until you understand the different paper options that are out there and the ones that are available as options to you. And if you need to go out and work with a different design. So for example, Vera Wang makes wedding invitations, right? And just the name Vera Wang already in your mind is elevated to, say, luxurious, to more expensive, to higher end. And so if that's a vendor that you would like to work with, you're going to have to define that ahead of time. Hope everyone's having a fabulous day. And remember, if you're interested in making your own card deck, I do have a free handy dandy 10-step checklist, as well as 2 of my favorite vendors listed in there for you. So I will leave a link to that below. And wedding invitations, I do have a paid workshop if that is something you're interested in. And I will leave information for that below as well. All right, I will see you guys later. Bye.